So I feel very privileged. And here's why I feel privileged. Is that even though you probably got 1 million things on your plate with 2 days to go, I managed to get a time slot in Corey Mason's schedule.
You're that special, buddy.
Thank you. I didn't want to say it myself. I needed someone else to say it. So Corey, thank you so much for that. Corey Mason, thank you for joining us on the Blood Origins podcast. Brian Feinhold is also with us. Morning, Brian. Thank you for joining us. And your desk looks amazing behind you. You cleaned it up nicely. I really appreciate that.
We got the short timer with us. His office is nice and tidy, not so much over here.
Look, man, I'll just jump into it. I wanted to have this conversation as soon as the news came out. And I want to have the conversation specifically because you know what the industry does.
Sure.
Industry just throws matches into burn piles. Left, right, and center. Brian, you know that. Any little rumor that comes out, it just nuclear storm. And when the email came out that Corey Mason was stepping down as the CEO of Dallas Safari Club, naturally, everybody went crazy. So I wanted to do this podcast, number one, to clear the air so that everyone can hear from the horse's mouth, proverbially, not literally. See, I have to get back at you. And then, secondly, just to see how everyone is. And Brian, this is maybe from your perspective. Corey, obviously you can chime in here, but how are we? How is Dallas Safari Club doing? How's the road going into Atlanta looking? Because I know from my perspective, I'm hearing nothing but good things. And so I wanted to hear from both of you. So, Corey Mason, let me ask, dare I be a little niggly and say, Corey, did you get fired from Dallas Safari Club?
Well, Robbie, I appreciate the conversation. Thanks for that. And you can't be a little niggly. I'm not familiar with that word, learning a new word today. But no, I did not. I had an opportunity presented to me that I pursued in the conservation space. And so departing DSC on the very best terms possible with a tremendous amount of continuity headed forward and collaboration that will continue for years and years and years and years. And so, in fact, working on projects probably past my time here collectively with the board and Brian and staff here. So absolutely not. So there's no firing directly, Robbie. And in fact, just departing for a great opportunity for me and my family. And super excited about that. And as far as the road to Atlanta, I'll touch on that just briefly because I would feel remiss if I didn't. That on-ramp is tremendous, from resources that are being spent to market across the Southeast and nationally, the partnerships that have been gained, the support within the state of Georgia and many of the surrounding states, from the governor's office through the wildlife commissions and departments, partners just like to yourself, Robbie, and many, many others that are supporting this amazing event that's going to take place. I mean, there's a lot of metrics, and we won't get too far in the details, but you just look at the recent launch of hotels, and it's a tremendous number where things are already responding. So the appetite is there, the venue is there, the marketing is there, the efforts there. The team here continues to do all the great magic that will happen. And so Atlanta is going to be a smashing success.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I really, really think so too. Corey, you spent how many years at DSC?
7 years.
7 years, and absolutely transformed DSC. In terms of the voice that you have, the way that the organization was carried. So tremendous kudos to you. And Brian, you now technically the interim CEO, picking up all the leaflets that Corey's like throwing up in the air as he's leaving. I couldn't think of a more capable individual to leave it to right now.
Well, I really appreciate that, Robbie. It's definitely an exciting time. It's a time of change, and I would be remiss if I didn't start off first by wishing my very good friend Corey all the best in his new role. And we were friends before we were coworkers, and we're even better friends now. And Corey's going to continue to do great things for hunting and conservation, and I look forward to being right there and participating in that as he goes forward.
Corey, did you hire Brian?
I did have the privilege of hiring Brian. Yes, sir.
What did you see in Brian when you hired him?
I saw someone that had great passion for the outdoors, a great communicator, tremendous from an operational standpoint, great industry knowledge, a great network of people and communications. But really at the genesis of all of that was a good man that knew how to work with people.
100%. 100%. And he's gotten fitter and fitter. Look, the dude is like a skinny mini today, man.
He's like a third of what we hired. I know.
I know.
That's right. That's right. That's been a bit of a journey in itself. So, but it does feel good, and I'm definitely looking forward to what lies ahead for our organization here in Dallas. And DSC continues to grow, and as Corey mentioned, Atlanta is whatever it is, little over 5 months away. It's creeping closer every day, and we're super excited about that, Robbie.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that too. Before we jump into talking specifically about Atlanta, Corey, what's your new role?
Yeah, so I'll be joining the Wild Sheep Foundation, a longtime partner of DSC's, as Executive Vice President of Conservation and COO. And I'll be jumping in starting next week.
Your background is in biology. You're a certified wildlife biologist. Does this get you a little bit more closer to the roots of what you love to do? Is your I guess you've got a balance now, right? Because you've got this operational title as well as this conservation title. Do you get to do more biology conservation work now, do you think?
Yeah, there will be a significant opportunity for me to be able to work across the conservation team there. They have a tremendous network of biologists and, of course, staff there at Wild Sheep Foundation. And then, of course, advisory boards, et cetera, that I'll have the privilege of working with. And that is directly on the ground applied conservation of species and habitat. So that's super exciting. It absolutely is. And then also the opportunity to work across the organization. And again, with a tremendous network of people there at Wild Sheep and a board that supports the organization, just like a board that supports the organization very well here.
I was, when we were together in Portugal earlier this year, I was fortunate enough to meet, I hope I get his name right, Kurt Alt. Is that his name?
That's it, yeah.
From Wild Sheep, sort of Asia, Europe chapter. And super excited to meet him. And we had some good conversations about us working together with him and showcasing some of the just exceptional conservation efforts that have come as a result of that kind of work. So just put me on the list, okay, boss?
You got it. I look forward to that.
Brian, okay, Atlanta, everyone's shook up a little bit. Obviously, Corey's departing. You're stepping in. Everyone's like, oh, man, this is a sign that Atlanta is not going to be what it's supposed to be. Tell us what it's supposed to be, Brian.
Well, I can tell you not only what it's supposed to be, but really what it is, what's developing right now. So it's, I'm a bit, you know me fairly well, Robbie. While I am a little more fit, I've always been a bit more of a numbers guy. So I always say I was a mathlete, not so much an athlete.
And numbers don't lie, Brian.
But I'm sorry.
I said numbers do not lie.
Numbers do not lie. Well, here's a fun number for you. We are currently with a few more booths than we had in our last year, earlier this year here in Dallas, with a few more booths in Atlanta. We are between 95 and 96% sold out of booth space, and so we have over 2,000 booths, and we'll have.
Well, so much for everyone saying we're not going to Atlanta.
And so we're well into our placement of all those booths, and then that's coming along very well. The facility itself is state of the art, and we're really excited about that. We are leaps and bounds ahead of hotel bookings throughout the city. We have 2 host hotels, the Omni and the Signia, that are literally attached to the Georgia World Congress Center, and those are filling up rapidly. And I would encourage everyone, if you want to stay we have double the rooms that are attached to the convention center, and they are booking up very rapidly. So don't miss your chance to get those booked, Robbie. And
well, you're speaking to the individual that has not done it yet.
There you go. Well,
Rebecca Jones on whilst we were together overseas. Was saying, did you get an email about hotels? I said, no, I didn't get anything. And she was like, well, they're only open for, she was giving me all this details. And then we figured out that she was a volunteer, so she actually got preference.
There you go. Well,
and so it's open now for us. So now we can go get our hotels.
It's open to everybody right now. And in the past, we've not been able to offer the host hotel here just because of the limited number of rooms we had. And that has all changed with 2 host hotels, both top of the line hotels. The Signia is one of the signature hotels in the Hilton line, and then the Omni. Everybody knows the Omni from our days here in Dallas. Both are attached, both very convenient. Both will host major events that we'll have throughout the week, and frankly, both quickly. So don't wait too long, Robbie.
I'll get it done today. So, tell me about, you said state-of-the-art facility. What does that mean, Brian?
Well, everything from the moment you walk in the Georgia World Congress Center to the structure of it, the facilities, the attention to detail throughout, the infrastructure, the restaurants that are within there, the ballrooms, both in the Georgia World Congress Center and in the 2 host hotels, the level of security and attention to detail in that regard really separates it from anything that I've ever seen. And so it is the perfect place to host an event like ours, and it's a perfect place to welcome hunting and fishing and outdoor enthusiasts from around the world, both from our exhibitor partners and our attendees. It's a fantastic venue, and it's a wonderful part of the country, and so we're really excited about it.
When do ticket sales go on are available for people to purchase? And are those the kinds of numbers that you get to track too?
That's right, and we will be tracking those and promoting those as we go forward, both on our social media and through our e-blasts and press releases and whatnot. Those will start to become available to past purchasers towards the end of this month, and then just a few weeks after that, they will open up to everyone. And we encourage folks to get out there and book those as well. We've got some great events planned throughout the 4 days of the convention. Is the setup going to be the same as it was in Dallas? So give us the dates, Brian, and then the ticket sales. I know that you guys were very adamant about ticket pricing when it was in Dallas. Is that going to reflect the same way in Atlanta? Yeah, the general structure of everything will be very similar. So the dates are January 9th through the 12th. And so, again, a Thursday through a Sunday, the same hours and the same Thursday to Sunday setup. So that'll be something that anyone who's gone in the past will be very familiar with in Atlanta. And so we're keeping that all the same. We'll have our welcome back gathering, welcome back celebration with our exhibitor partners on Wednesday night. And then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening, we'll have our conservation, education, and advocacy evenings, paying tribute to the pillars of our mission, and really welcoming our most staunch supporters and advocates and sponsors to the show. And then we, of course, sprinkled in there, we'll have a wonderful ladies' luncheon, which their planning is well underway for that. And I just try to stay out of the way of that. And because they do an incredible job, and that'll be a fun midday event for all the ladies in Atlanta that want to participate in that. And then we'll also be hosting a member-driven breakfast called the Conservation Champions Breakfast, which will be a little bit of a different take from our traditional breakfast, and that'll welcome anyone and everyone who's either a member or interested in being a member of Dallas Safari Club. And so we're really excited about that too.
Outstanding. Yeah, those ladies' luncheons, you got to stay well away of those ladies' luncheons. They can
that's good advice.
Steer you into trouble right there.
They have a lot of fun though.
They do. One of the things that I'm hoping, I'm going to let the cat out a little bit out of the bag, but I'm hoping to have our big Botswana elephant documentary complete, hopefully by October, November. And if that is complete, I'd love to put that in front of you guys to say if you'd like to do a sort of screening premiere at Dallas in Atlanta for the Botswana operators or anybody else that's interested. We can get a room and set up a debut of that documentary.
That'd be great. Definitely talk about that.
We will do it. We'll do it. We're stuck in the post-production process right now. My producers are pulling their hair out since we interviewed 86 different people, and they're like, "How do we even do this, Robbie?" And I said, "Just pick the best 12." Anyway, we're gonna make it happen. Corey, it's interesting. It's already there's a bunch of dovetailing already. I know you start with Wild Sheep next week, August the 21st. Are you going to go up to Bozeman, or are you staying in Dallas?
Yeah, good question. So I have a daughter that's in high school, starting her sophomore year. The same week I start with Wild Sheep Foundation. So Wild Sheep, a great respect to my family, is understanding that there's no desire to move in the middle of a high school
100%.
journey for my daughter. So I'm super grateful for that. So no, I won't be moving. We'll evaluate after a few years and see what that looks like, but not for the few years. We'll be here so she can finish out high school strongly.
Yeah, August. I don't know what August the 21st is. I'll look it up right now. But next 2 weeks, Wednesday, the 21st, there's a 3-film premiere happening in Bozeman through the Wild Sheep Foundation. 2 of those films are sheep related. The third is Lionheart with Blood Origins.
I'll be there.
So, you need to take a selfie. Send it to me, okay?
You got it.
Yeah, Corey, anything else you want to say? I know this is the sort of like, we wanted to have you on again just to make sure that we've smoothed anything over. And really, as I said, the biggest fire that I heard was, DSC fired him. We've obviously cleared that up already.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I appreciate that. Well, I have been here, provided notice, of course, of my departure, and have worked over a month, nearly a month and a half here. So clearly there was no fire associated with that, and tying up lots of loose ends. And Brian and I have worked very closely since he's been here, and certainly over the last little bit, continuing to transition things. I guess one of the things that I would feel remiss if I didn't say is just a super appreciation of 7 years here. That's been an amazing impact on my family, myself, of course, professionally, and the tremendous support from what really the fiber of the being here, and that's the people. It's an amazing group of staff that work here, and that extends, of course, to some of our remote staff, Bruce and Mike and Eric, etc. And of course, all the team here within the office, the DSC board, a super appreciation for their support and direction of DSC over the last several years. And the DSC 100, I tell you what, no matter where I go around the world, people that go to our convention, they talk about that DSC 100, and they are truly makes this event special. So just a huge appreciation for my time here. And again, I just can't say it enough, because it's very true that although I'm not in the office starting next week, my time to continue to support DSC, that doesn't have a shelf life. That continues to support Brian and the board and the staff with whatever the needs are, finishing up projects. I'll be right here shoulder to shoulder with him.
I do know where he lives, though, Robbie. So.
I don't know where he lives, but I got his cell phone number, so
I've got his
he'll
cell
have
phone
to block
too.
me at some point.
You bet.
Well, Corey, I will say this. I don't know if you've heard this via the grapevine or not, and I feel honored to be able to say this, but I heard from many different people that are around you that they would have followed you into battle, and that they would take you over anyone to walk into a room and communicate what hunting and conservation means to them and our community in that room. So I couldn't think of two greater praises from people that you have been surrounded by and that you have influenced. And I am very grateful for our friendship. I'm glad that we got to spend more personal time together last year in doing so, and very much look forward to what we can do together at the Wild Sheep Show, Wild Sheep Foundation. Sorry, not just the show.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Robbie. I appreciate you passing along those kind of words. That means a lot. I really appreciate that.
And Brian, as I said to you, man, I couldn't, and Corey's already said, I couldn't think of someone who could, step up into those shoes that Corey is leaving you. We're certainly excited for Atlanta. Blood Origins has not ever decided to put a booth in place at any show up until now, and we submitted a booth for Atlanta just to show our support to you guys and to say, we feel like, we need to be there and we want to advocate and showcase who we are. And so, you know where to find me too. And, we want to continue our work that we have started under Corey with the foundation and with you guys and grow that as we would have done with Corey, but with you and whoever comes in to fill that shoes, whether it's you or someone else.
Absolutely, Robbie. Well, we appreciate, from both the DSC and DSC Foundation perspective, we appreciate everything you stand for. We appreciate the work that we've done and will continue to do together with you, and certainly appreciate the opportunity to be here today and just really pay a little tribute to this guy on my right here that is going off to a new great opportunity, but also really just to really talk about Atlanta. And, Corey, I just wanted to note, Corey touched on the DSC 100 Army of Volunteers that we are really blessed with here at Dallas Safari Club. And that is something that I think is unique in this industry. It is something that is really the DNA of DSC. And it's something that we're very proud of. We have an incredible group of member volunteers that take a lot of time each year to make the convention the success that it is, and make it showcase that true Southern hospitality, the Texas hospitality, and for anyone that's planning to go to Atlanta, you can rest assured that the DSC 100 will be present and very much accounted for there. Planning is well underway for that. There's a lot of energy around that. And so the DSC 100 will be going on the road. And again, plans are well underway for that. So we're very excited to showcase that. You pair that with the best exhibitor partners from around the world, and anyone who's within a 3 or 4 hour drive of Atlanta should make that trip in January, because it is an incredible showcase of the best when it comes to hunting and conservation around the world. And we look forward to having that. And the DSC 100 is really a giant part of what makes that possible.
100%. Here. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate your time. Short,
Thanks,
sharp,
buddy.
to the point. Corey, all the best, my man.
Appreciate that, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
Let's do this again, Robbie.
Oh, 100%.